So today I am going to be talking about breakups and how they are so much like a miscarriage. Okay, and now listen, wait up. I know some of you may be even offended at that, and I need to dive into it. But the other day I was talking to two people that were just going through this breakup, and it was awful. And as I was talking to them, I had this this analogy just organically came out of me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do a podcast episode about this. And honestly, I know that some people, who knows, might be offended, might be sensitive topic. So for sure, don't listen to this. But I have to tell you because I think there's more good. There's so much good in this, what I have to say. When Will and I were first pregnant, it was like Will and I were married 3 years and having the time of our lives. And we never felt like, oh my gosh, and now is the perfect time to have kids. That never happened. It was more like, I guess we should have kids. We always knew from our first date that we both wanted to have kids eventually, but the actual timing of it, we didn't know. And so we were having the best time of our lives, and we're nothing seems to be missing at all. But I guess we should start trying because, we figured, look at our age, it's good to start having kids at 30. We're in America at the time. So it's they shove that down your throat and it has to be 30 years old. Ugh. So anyway, we're okay, might as well start trying now. So I get off the birth control pills and we start trying, and immediately we get pregnant. And we're so excited. But it was this weird feeling of oh shit, we're pregnant. This actually works. This actually can happen. Okay. And we created this website for the kid. And we even did this whole thing of what would that kid look like? And it was his face and my face. And then it created some weird baby. And we told everybody. We were just so oh my gosh, this is happening. And then 5 weeks in, we go to a doctor and they say to us, oh no, something's going on. It's not developing correctly. You're going to have a miscarriage. And I was like, no, what? And the way his bedside manner was awful. It was awful. And just very insensitive and just whatever, this happens all the time. And to us, we were so excited about this baby. I was even having dreams of the baby, and it was all this stuff. And so, yeah, I was what did we talk? You're done. We're not going to this doctor, right? So we went to this other doctor, and we go to the other doctor and we hear the heartbeat. And it was so beautiful. It was the first time we hear the heartbeat, and we're so excited and we're celebrating. And then a few days after, we had just hit 6 weeks, I miscarried, and it was awful. Just crazy. And Will and I it was we had to grieve, it was oh my gosh, it was just so sad. And I don't want to think about it so much, because I know usually I was it's just hard. It's one of those moments if I go back there, it's oh my gosh, it was just heartbreaking, and it was awful, right? So Will and I are going through this loss, and we were so excited about this beautiful baby that we were going to have. And we envisioned life with this baby, and now it's gone. But we're but now it's after losing it, now I realized I really want a baby. You see, it wasn't oh my gosh, let's just see what happens. I guess, whatever. I guess we'll have kids. Now it was oh my gosh, I want, for sure. And Will was the same way. Will and I were both completely on the same page, and we're oh my gosh, this is what we want. And we got pregnant right away. We were celebrating our anniversary. We went to Paris with our friends, and we found out in Paris we were pregnant. And that's why Juliana's middle name is Paris. And it was the best thing in the world, right? And I had this moment of talking to my friends when they were so upset about their breakups, and they were but it was the best. They were and this is important, if you've had a relationship that was so healthy, there's so many things about it that were so much better than what you've had before, right? And like, oh my gosh, but this was like so much better than anything I've had. But there were some parts of it that weren't right, like exactly what you really would want. But you had this like moment, or you, just like a feeling, and like something inside of you like awakened. Like if you've been, you know, in shitty relationships, disappointment after disappointment, and you kind of even given up on love, and then you had this other relationship that finally, like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what I want. This is insane. I can't believe it. I feel love again. I'm finding like this is it. I feel like that it was kind of like a miscarriage. Like when you finally have something like that and it fails because it wasn't it. That's not your person, but it awakened you. It just said, oh my gosh, wait. Like there's something here that I want. Like I really want. And so like sometimes when you have this breakup, what I want, hopefully this analogy I'm explaining correctly, you know, but what I'm trying to say is that when I had the miscarriage, I didn't say, forget it, screw it, I don't want kids, I don't want to try again. Instead, I was like, oh my gosh, I now realize how like, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. But like how much I wanted to be a mom. I was like, this is what I want. And it's in that loss, I realized this is what I really want. And to be a mom. I'm not going to give up. And so for any of you who are going through a breakup with someone that perhaps was really great and had so many amazing moments and had all this potential, but it didn't work out and broke your heart, don't give up. Like if a part of you has been awakened because of this relationship, be grateful for that and say, oh my gosh, thank you. And I'm going to find like my person. Like that means you're that much closer. You're that much closer to finding your person. So I hope, you know, you're getting what I'm saying. And yeah, this is something that you know, sometimes people worry so much about, oh my gosh, everything's controversial. Everyone has a problem with everything. And I honestly feel like I had to say this. I had to, because breakups can totally suck. Miscarriages are devastating. I just felt like there was some kind of common thread of don't give up and keep going, and you're going to find your person. So if this is resonating, or if it's not, or if you're upset, whatever it is you're feeling, understand I'm coming from a place of love. I truly want to help you on your journey to find your person. Whatever you're going through, I would love to hear about it. So you can drop a comment if you're listening on YouTube, or leave a review on Spotify or Apple. Or reach out to me on Instagram, the Jackie Loor. I am so sending you so much love. I want you to find your person. It's all about crazy love or nothing. Okay, until next time. Bye. Thank you.